Hello everyone, welcome to a little bit different, well, different from the usual God of War stuff. Right now I figured I would give the new Elite Dangerous update a go. Long time viewers may know that I started off my streaming career, if you can call it that, by streaming Elite Dangerous. So I am now back now that the Beyond update is out, and I thought I'd give it a go. So I got the keys all set up, you know, all the key mapping and so on, and we're basically going to be heading off to the Coalsack Nebula, which is over here, so it's not too far away. And I'm at Kuhn at the moment, or Kun, or however you pronounce it. And yeah, pretty much good to go. So we'll just do a little trip.
Takeoff procedure complete. Clear for departure.
We'll do a little trip off to the Coalsack Nebula and we'll see what we can find. There we go. And boost. Right, so yeah, I don't know, I mean, hopefully there'll be some unexplored systems along the way, but we can give that all a go. I'm frantically trying to remember what all the buttons are and everything.
Flight control now offline. Goodbye, Commander.
Yeah, goodbye, robot. Right, we are heading here. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I've given it a quick try and I think I've got the right buttons all set up and everything. So yeah, we'll see what we can find, basically. It was a bit of a fiddly setup. Right, so here we are in a new system, and if I have a look, what have we got? We've got stuff found already, so I don't think it's worth doing anything here. Let's just head on. I am in a Crate Mark II, my trusty explorer ship. Hello lags, welcome along. Yeah, well, what this game is about, you ask? Well, it is basically a huge sandbox. You can do anything, basically. There's mining, exploring, pirate hunting, being a pirate, bounty hunting, doing missions, and you have a whole vast galaxy of stuff to explore. Literally, it's I'll show you in a second when I come out of here, but it's billions of stars. Let me just get past this one. And I'll show you the galaxy map, and you can see exactly how much we have to play with here. If you're also, I should point out, if you're on a PlayStation 4, this is on the PC, but if you're on a PlayStation 4, it's Elite. The base game for Elite Dangerous is on sale for like 70% off right now, something like $10 ish. But you really need to get Horizons with it, which is the DLC. So I think I don't know if there's a deal with that included, but it's still cheaper than you normally get it. So yeah, let's show you the galaxy. So this is everything. It's on Steam. Yes, you can get it on Steam. You can get it direct from Frontier as well. But there is a version on Steam, but I don't know if that's on sale. But yeah, this is the galaxy. And if I zoom right in here, you'll see that these are all the stars. And you know, you saw how far away the galactic core was. Well, you can just keep going and going and going and going and going and going. And all of this is stars. These are all stars I visited before. All the way, been all the way back to the core basically. I've all gone all the way over here. Yeah, there is a lot to do in terms of exploring. And I am an explorer. Yes, it is immense. You don't, I mean, obviously you don't have to explore absolutely everything. You can do whatever you want, but yeah, there's like 400. I think the stats are, is it 400 billion stars, which is like 100 billion systems or something like that, you know. Known space, well, I say known space, because at the beginning of the game, whenever the game first came out in whatever it was, 2014, all we knew of was the bubble, which is like the area of space that is around our solar system. You know, it's basically civilized sort of populated space. And we didn't know of any aliens or anything like that. And then, of course, explorers started venturing out and basically mapped out the whole galaxy. But it's still, I think we haven't even discovered 1% of all the stars in the galaxy yet. We're something like 0.001 or something ridiculous. So we're, there's still a lot to explore. Right now, I'm just heading off to a nebula nearby, the Coalsack Nebula, which is a real one. There's a lot of real stars around the bubble that have been sort of hand put in, and then there's everything else is procedurally, well, sort of procedurally generated. It's been previously randomly generated, so it's known. In the sense that, you know, it's already been kind of rolled up internally, but of course people don't know what is in that system until they go visit it. The actual mechanics of how they made these systems is pretty interesting as well. Like they tried to be realistic. They failed in several regards, but by and large, they're reasonably realistic, and you know, you end up having, you know, like around little red dwarf stars, you'll have lots of little ice balls and not a lot of habitable planets. Around sun-like stars, you'll have more habitable worlds and so on. But you know, you can't land on the habitable worlds, unfortunately, yet. You can't land on planets with atmospheres, but you can land on planets that don't have atmospheres, which makes for some interesting sights and so on. Let's see. So we're at what was it, Eta Cephei? Or Eta Cephei, or however you pronounce it. The Eta star in Cepheus constellation. This appears to have some planets around it. So let's just have a little dry run of what the new update has added. So this is a giant, and we will, if I remember what my buttons are, go into analysis mode, and we will go into the discovery mode. So first off, we do the honk. This basically will give us a rundown of what's in the system, but we don't know we don't know what's in the system yet. If we get out of this, let's start the system map up. We haven't mapped this ourselves. This is already like previously mapped or something. So when we do this scanner thing, we're trying to map the worlds ourselves, and you'll see at the bottom there's a whole bunch of frequencies that we can scan. I should add here that what we're looking at now is part of the new update. What we looked at before, that was a system map. Before, what you would do is you'd enter a system, you'd honk, you do the big discovery scanner thing, and you would see all those planets show up on the map, and you're done. Now they've made it a bit more convoluted, so if you want to get more info on these worlds, theoretically, you have to go and find them on here, basically. Like that's a world that's got a number on it, and you can zoom in. You can zoom in again. Probably zoom in again. There we go. It's a ring. It's a brown dwarf star. It's a ringed brown dwarf star. Got quite a big ring system. I don't think it's going to be terribly effective actually to do this here. Let's see if we can keep going and find a less explored system. We're kind of flying through the bubble. We're flying through the bubble of populated space right now. So there's going to be lots of pre-discovered systems, but I want to try and get to one where we don't have a known system. So yeah, if you're still there, there's a big info dump, but I mean it's a big game. Yeah, it's sort of I mean this came out before No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is a very different in some ways. I mean it's another sort of galaxy scale exploration game, but that really is procedurally generated. There's you know, you can land on planets that have life on them, and you can catalogue monsters and creatures and so on, and there's something of a story there. You can build bases and so on, but it's a different kind of game. Yeah, like the thing with this is Elite's been around since the 1980s. I used to play it back on the Commodore 64, and it was a rather different little beast there, but it was the same idea. You had eight galaxies, each that had 256 systems, so it's increased quite a bit since then. And you had ships, and you flew around, and you blew up pirates, and you traded, and so on. Yeah, and I'll show you the external views here. This is my ship. This is a Crate Mark II. It's a I mean, I wouldn't say it's a dedicated explorer ship, but it's pretty good at exploring. Also, as you can see from this, you can get some pretty awesome screenshots like that. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Crap. Let's tip up a little bit, and we can see the ship a bit more. So yeah, currently I'm in Super Cruise, so I'm kind of zooming through space at sort of faster than normal speed. That's kind of like a sort of a solar system scale, faster than light. You can, if you're really good eyesight, you can actually see me in here as the pilot. That is me. Yeah, there's quite a lot of detail in here, obviously. You can play this in VR as well. I don't have a VR set, so I have never played it like that, but I imagine it's pretty awesome. Yeah, and so this is my ship, and you can customize it. You know, the paint job, add nameplates and so on. You have to pay for them. There's some microtransactions in the game, but it's not like a pay to win thing. Whoops. And somehow I managed to get into the probe mode. How do I do that? Because that's not set. Go away. Oh right, yeah, because it's set like that, isn't it? Yeah, hang on, I've got myself into a knot there. Right, okay. Accidental probe firing. Still trying to get the hang of these controls.
Frame shift drive charging.
So I think this planet actually is a special planet that we're coming up to. Shinrata Dejra. I think that's the founder system. So you can only access this world if you are either elite in rankings. You have rankings in the game that you progress through, or if you paid for it in the Kickstarter, basically, which I did. But I am also elite in exploration, so I am officially actually allowed to be here, so that's good.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
So this is the Shinrata Dejra system. Has an Earth-like world in it. We could go and have a visit here. Let's go actually. Yeah, let's go have a look. Because if you haven't seen the game, then you can actually see a planet close up, because all I've been doing is jumping so far. And we can see not just a planet, but the Founder's World. So that bright light there is another spaceship. I'm playing in solo mode at the moment, and that's all I play in. I don't play in any other mode. But there are open worlds, open mode where you can basically, it's like PvP basically. You know, it's multiplayer. There's gankers, griefers, and all the other idiots around. And I hate it, and I will never play it. But there's solo mode, which is this, where it's just you, and then there's AI NPC things around, and there's private groups, which are you plus a bunch of select people that you invite, you know, your friends or whatever, and the rest are AIs. So that is like the best if you want to do multiplayer elite. I think I would recommend just going with a private group, finding some friends. And you can just sort of play by yourselves without having to worry about any idiots trying to blow you up, or at least any human idiots trying to blow you up. There might be some AI ones, but they're generally dealable with. But yeah, I hate PvP. I'm not a fan of it at all. So if they had actually made this game only with PvP, only with open, as an open game, I would not have got it at all, despite my love for the old game, because of course the old game wasn't multiplayer at all. So let's just sort of fly by it here. So this is an Earth-like planet. You can't land on them, like I said, but yeah, if you like open world stuff, then go for it, but there's definitely no advantage to it, I think. I mean, exploring isn't really, I mean, it's not the most social activity. It's not like, you know, if you're in combat, you know, if you want to go hunting bounty hunters and so on, you can you can happily group up, and then you can sort of fight, go out on patrols and expeditions, pirates and so on. But exploring, you can do group expeditions, and there are group expeditions, and they, quite a lot of big ships get together, and they sort of all jump to the same places and so on, and they go across the galaxy. There's one coming up next year called Distant Worlds, I think, Distant Worlds 2. But generally, it's a very solo kind of activity, because you want to go at your own rate. You want to be able to go and check out something interesting and so on. So it's there's not really any advantages to doing it in open apart from that. And there's a lot more risk in open, because you can end up getting attacked and blown up, and you lose all the data that you collected, basically. Which is the point of exploring, really. You go and explore, you get data, that data is worth money, you come back to a station, you drop off that data at the Universal Card Graphics there, which are like the scouts or whatever, the mappers of the galaxy, and they pay you money for it, and you go up in rank, and then you've got more money, and you have more kind of prestige, and of course your money you use to buy ships and parts and all that sort of stuff. So I am trying to dock with this, but I missed. I didn't have it selected. It's been a while since I played this as well. It's been several months. There we go. Okay, let's try that again. Should be able to get in here. So you have to get to a certain distance of the station. Which should have happened. Why hasn't that happened? That's weird. There we go. Usually about 1,000 kilometers. But yeah, and then you pop out into real space. So now I'm not in supercruise anymore. I'm flying around with normal thrusters.
Oscar Delta Yankee. Please ensure you follow standard docking procedures before landing.
And then we have to request docking.
Permission authorized. Clear to land at docking bay 22.
And then you can have a look at what we're doing here. That is a station. And now we are going to attempt to dock. Okay, so here we go. Line up. Get the landing gear down.
Landing gear deployed.
This is a lot easier in this game, this version of the game, than it was in the original game. You're basically trying to dock with a rotating station here. And it rotated very quickly in the original games. And that's another ship coming in.
Speed restrictions are in effect at this facility. Please comply.
Let's wait for this, whatever it is, beluga to get out of the way. So I gotta go to 22, which is up there. There we go. There's a great big ship over here. They're very strict as well about, if you loiter above a pad, they'll go like, you know, stop loitering, or will actually blow you up. They're very low tolerance. Just land on the pad, and there we go. Landed.
Ship is on the ground. Ground crew dispatched. It's good to have you with us, Commander.
And then we can go and check out services and so on. Might as well just refuel. You can buy new ships. You can fix stuff, etc. Technology broker. What are all these? Power contacts, search and rescue contacts. Don't know what half of those things are, but yeah. So if you want to go outfitting, you can go down here, and then you can add bits to your ship. Yeah, I've got the hang of the landings. But you can also land on planets as well. You don't need to have a pad to do it. So yeah, here's your outfitting thing, and you can basically go, right, I'm gonna add cargo racks, fuel scoops, all this sort of stuff. There's vehicles that you can drive around in, so I'll go and land on a planet at some point and you can see what that's about. Yeah, you basically these are your core things. You start off with really basic stuff, and you have to buy better versions of it. You know, there's if I go to the shop here, you know, you can buy a different fuel tank if you want. Buy like a different frame shift drive, which is your hyperdrive. But I've got the best ones that I can get basically for my ship. And the idea is that there's at the bottom there you see the we might be able to see there the jump minimum, current and max, like just under where it says retracted and deployed. At the moment my max range is 40 light years, so I can do a 40 light year jump every time, which is it's okay, but I mean there's ways to get that way higher, up to like sort of 50 or 60 or something, but that requires a lot of grinding and engineering and all this sort of stuff that I don't really want to do. So with that, I mean, let's just launch and get back on the way, and then I'll I'm basically just trying to get through the bubble so we can get into kind of unexplored space, and then I can sort of show off a few things more there. But if you look around, there's a lot of detail. I mean, you've got these little buggies driving across and lights, and there's, you know, some of the buildings have trees in them and stuff. Let's get out of there. There we go. And so on, you know.
Scan detected.
Let's try and get away. Why isn't my landing gear going up? It's that button, isn't it?
Landing gear retracted.
There we go. Just wasn't being very responsive. Yeah, it's, I mean, the people that make it have essentially devoted a big chunk of their entire lives to making it, because it's been around since the 80s. There's a lot of stuff going on in it, and there's a lot of stuff still going on in it. There's a big sort of plot thing.
No fire zone. This is traffic operations. Signing off.
There's a big plot thing going on right now. Yeah, the David Braben is the guy who originally came up with the game along with Ian Bell.
Charging.
And David Braben is the guy who is in charge of Frontier development. And I mean, Frontier was basically founded to make Elite again, which they've done, and they've also done Planet Coaster and Jurassic World Evolution, I think, are theirs as well. So yeah, they've done some neat games, but this is their flagship kind of thing.
Fuel scoop.
And you can, I mean, I don't know if you can hear as well, the sound in the game is really awesome. The sound design is really good.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
You can hear like engines and all sorts of things, you know, especially when you go to the space stations, you can hear the, you know, all the, you know, the commentary and the tannoy and stuff like that in the background.
Frameshift drive.
So yeah, it does need a relatively meaty PC to run it, if you're looking at it on the PC. It is on the Xbox, the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4 as well, which presumably can handle it quite well, just out of the box. But yeah, I've got a pretty decent machine, so it can handle it. You'll notice as well, you know, I'm zooming on past the stars to the next jump point, and as I'm doing that, I'm scooping up fuel. That's an essential thing for exploring.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
So let's have a look. This still has stations and things in it,
Charging.
so bear with me as we head out of civilization here. But yeah, it is a very well done game. It's a very slow game though. There's not an awful lot to there's not awful lot of external stuff to drive you. Like they, you know, most of the time with updates they'll add new things and so on. There is an ongoing plot with aliens. There's the Thargoids, who are bizarre alien bad guy things. They have very cool ships. They are very scary. They're really good at combat. But they're an alien race that was from the original game. They're all kind of biomechanical, weird stuff going on with them. No one's entirely sure what's going on with what they are and so on. But there's a sort of war kind of thing going on with them.
Frameshift drive. Charging.
There's ancient ruins. There's the Guardian ruins that they're also somehow involved with the Thargoids. Like maybe they fought the Thargoids, or maybe they made the Thargoids or something in the distant past. And the Thargoids all hang around the Pleiades as well. You know, the star cluster. But yeah, there's a lot going on there. And obviously, if you're into more combat-y stuff, you can go out looking for Thargoids and blowing them up and so on. But of course, if you're exploring, you don't really want to do that. So let's see. Are we anywhere near a undiscovered system yet? Not really. I'll do a few more jumps. Do a few more jumps and then we can start exploring. But yeah, this is a good game for streaming, because you can just sort of hang around and do stuff and talk to chat and so on. You know, much like Fortnite and all that stuff. You know, it's not got. You can just kind of drop into it, and people can just drop into it from from outside, and they don't have to worry about keeping up with story or anything like that. So yeah, and you can just sort of play it and play for as long as you like, and then go, right, I'm done, and that's it, and then you can resume next time. I've got a whole bunch of videos on my Twitch and on my YouTube from earlier on, before I before I used to be streaming this every week, and then I kind of got bored of it, and I've been streaming other games since then, but I've still got a soft spot for it, because as I was saying, the thing with this game is that you basically have to make your own goals most of the time. Like, those Thargoids and all that stuff aside, my goal was to basically, if I show you on the map, my goal was to head out to here. Around here is Colonia, and Colonia is another system basically that has a space station in it. It's another kind of civilized bubble of space, and it gives you a good incentive to go long distances basically, because you can just leave the bubble down here. I'll show you how big the bubble is here, by the way. This bubble of coloured stuff is known, inhabited space. Everything outside of this is not inhabited space. It is empty space. And there's another bubble somewhere around here, I think. There's Colonia is somewhere around here, this area. But that's it. All of this stuff outside is just unknown. Explorer territory. So it's pretty cool. But this is a tiny bit of space. We're just outside the bubble now. Over here, and that's where we're heading, Coalsack Nebula. And you can see as well there's other nebulas around, some with names, some that don't have names. There's a Barnard Loop back here. That's where, if you look towards Orion in the sky, that's what that's basically behind Orion. There's the Orion Nebula, a whole bunch of nebulas around here, the California Nebula, and so on. So these are all places you can go and visit and take screenshots of, and so on. They're all very cool. But for explorers, the goal is get a decent ship and head out into the stars basically and see what's out there. For bounty hunters, it's just you never leave the bubble. You just go to systems and blow people up basically. But what's my favourite game I played so far? Ooh, that's a good question. This isn't. It's a good game. I like it, but it's not my favourite game. I would say I like story games. I like games with a lot of story to them, and I am a big fan of the walking simulator, or what people have called walking simulator genre, which are basically the ones where you go around and you wander around and find pretty things and find the story. I don't know why it's locking up there. It's weird. But my favourite, I would have to say, is Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, which I've also done videos of, but they're in the Twitch archive and on my YouTube. But that's fantastic, that game. It's basically a game where you are wandering around a small English village in the 1980s, and everyone has gone, and all that's left are these glowy points of light, and you basically discover, if you go to these points of light, you can kind of replay back a kind of recording of people talking and so on. It's a weird sort of ghostly kind of playback thing, and you slowly walk around this town, you piece together what happened, and it's very cool, it's very emotional, it's very moving. The music is fantastic. It's one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard, by Jessica Curry. I would thoroughly recommend it if you like that kind of thing. Dear Esther is also a similar kind of game that's very good, made by the same people, a bit smaller scale. What Became of Edith Finch is really good, another sort of story type thing, a bit more involved. You try to find out what happened to your family, and all these very strange things happen to them. But in terms of more conventional games, The Last of Us I played recently, that was fantastic. Horizon Zero Dawn I just finished, that was fantastic. I like that kind of the Horizon Zero Dawn kind of open world thing, third person sneaking around, but you can fight as well, and there's lots of story going on. Really loved Horizon Zero Dawn. Mad Max was really good. Shadow of Mordor was really good. Basically, a lot of the games that I've streamed have been really good. But I like a lot of stuff. I don't tend to like... I've discovered that I don't like puzzly kind of games that are just impossible to do. I find them very frustrating. Games where you have to repeat things in order to figure it out, like Tomb Raider and Uncharted, that kind of thing I don't like much, but yeah, those are the ones I like anyway. Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn, if it's only on the PlayStation 4 unfortunately. If you don't have that, then basically I'd suggest go buy one and start playing it. But Horizon Zero Dawn is awesome. I'm playing God of War at the moment on the streams. My regular streams are on Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and that's been pretty good so far. I've been enjoying that one. But yeah, I love exploring. I mean, that's what I'm doing here. I basically like finding out what the world is that people have made for us when they make computer games. You know, I love exploring that sort of stuff. We'll find all the secrets and so on. Right. Let's have a look here. We're sort of in a unknown space, really. Actually, no. Let's go one more because there's no place to land here. Let's go one more, and then I'll see if I can land on the planet. You can see what that's like. But you have to. They have to have a little blue circle around them in the system map in order to be landable. So those ones didn't. So that'd be not much use to us here. But yeah, Mad Max was really good. I really liked that one. It's a highly underrated game. But that was open world, explory, fighty, sneaky. I suppose it was less sneaky, but there was lots of fighty stuff going on. Right. I should probably keep an eye on my fuel as well, because that's getting a bit low. I'm just going to sit here for a little bit and bask. My fuel in the bottom right needs to recharge. Let me just fiddle around with something here. Is that gonna work?
Fuel scooping complete.
That'll work, I think. There we go. Let's adjust the screen so you can actually see it all in the overlay. Right, so yeah, so now you can see my fuel on the right has filled up. Go watch the heat levels. If they go above, definitely if they go above 100%, I'm going to start getting damaged. But I should be good now. Let's see if this one's got anything landable. This does. Okay, there's some stuff here. So let's see if we can do this. So I believe I have to press that, and then I have to press this. Right. So going to do a honk. Okay, here's what we've got. 27 bodies in the system. So, sorry, gives a bit of a timeline. Yeah, so it does. It does give you a timeline thing. Hang on, I'll show you. Let's figure this out. Hang on. What's the button for this? There we go. There's so many buttons in this. I'm playing on a HOTAS, throttle and joystick thing, and there's just basically have to have this sheet as a reference all the time to. Can't remember where everything is, even though I played this game for ages. I think there is a thing here. It's a session log, permits. Oh, there was a thing here. I don't know if it's here anymore. Because they did do this big update. There was a thing that told you like your status. Codex, blah blah blah. They might have got rid of it. That's a bit annoying. But yeah, there was a thing in this panel that actually showed you how long you've been playing and so on. It might all be in the codex, but I don't want to go there because it's a little buggy right now. But anyway, let's go have a look here. So what we're seeing now is the orbital plane of the system, and this is how we are going to be discovering things. You can basically scan up and down, and you'll see like we've got some signals here. Like there's something here, there's something here, there's something here, and there's something here, and there's a few interesting things to look at there. So we've got a belt cluster. They're not worth anything. You're basically looking for bluish dots here. So here we go, we've got something here. What's this? There we go, we've locked in on that. Found another belt cluster. There's something here, I think. Oh, there we go, we got a thing. We can zoom in on that. Oh, multiple things. There's a moon. And you see we're slowly piecing together what's going on here. So there's another moon. I haven't found anything with any locations yet, which is annoying. There's some more moons. Another moon. Or something. There we go. Allegedly, there are places where you can land on these worlds. We'll have to have a look. We'll have to go up to one and have a look, basically. There's another moon over here. Oh, is it a double moon? But basically, like, we're discovering the whole system from where we are, which is, I mean, it takes a little bit of time, I suppose, but it takes a lot less time than actually flying out there and visiting everything. So what else have we got over here? There's something there. Another double system by the looks of it. I gotta get right on there. And that's another one. There we go. We've got something else over there. So that's basically, we've just discovered its whole planetary system by the looks of it. Well, it's a moon satellite system. Zoom out of that one. We go up here, and then we go, right, what have we got down here? There's something big over here. It's a gas giant. Then we got another system here. Zooming in. And then we can scroll back down over here. Hopefully nobody's shooting at me or anything. I'm assuming it would tell you if somebody was. There we go. We got a oops. We got a thing here. Let me zoom in here. But yeah, I mean, hopefully that answers your question about the times. I mean, also, you've also got your game time that whatever Steam keeps track of too. I think I put about 1,000 hours or so into this game, which is a bit ridiculous. But there we go. There's that. I think we found everything else. There is another star or two, I guess, here. A brown dwarf. And we got a red dwarf. Another belt cluster. We got something else over here. So again, we scroll up and down a bit. Oh, we got a gas giant. More moons. All things. There's a giant. Another ringed one. Yeah, I put in a lot of hours into this. There we go, another moon. That's just this edition, yeah. Just this version of the game. I mean, if I count all the time I spent playing Elite on the Commodore 64 and Frontier 2 in the 90s. Or Frontier was Elite 2, that was on the PC. It barely ran on my PC at all. I had frame rates of literally like 1 per second. And yet I still played it. Because that's all you knew. But yeah, if I had all that time, we're probably looking at another 1,000. Oh, I've got everything now. Yay, there we go. Yeah, it's a long time. Right, so we have now discovered everything in the system. So let's go. So interesting. It doesn't show up all the info doesn't show up on here. Oh, where is it? There it is. Right. So this will be interesting. So you've got all the data over here. It's like this moon. It's a tiny little moon, 1,200 kilometers radius, so a bit smaller than our moon. Cold, but it's got water geysers on it, and we might be able to go find those. It's also got a short orbital period, which is also good because that means we get more impressive views of the planet. But yeah, there's like nitrogen magma on that one. Let's go over here, and I'll show you like a gas giant and landing on the moon. And we can do the second part of the exploring here, which is the probes. Because now they've added probes that you can launch, and you can get even more detail about a body. And I think if you do that, you can also find the locations of things like geysers, volcanoes, weird stuff. So we'll go and have a look, because there's a whole bunch of stuff they've added here that weird phenomena and so on that I've never seen, and I'm hoping to see today. But yeah, it does explain why I've explored so much. But I am not one of the leading explorers in the game. There's people that have it seems like they've explored half the galaxy, it seems, but there is a bit of a learning curve to this game as well, I will warn you. There's a lot of tutorial videos out though, which are good, but you have to get the hang of flying in particular. Like, as I'm going through Super Cruise here, we're zooming into the planet, but I have to slow down as I approach the planet, otherwise I'll overshoot it. And there's this weird sort of gravity limited thing where the closer you get to a planet or a gravity well, the slower your maximum speed becomes. Yeah, this sheet is actually something I downloaded from somewhere. Like they'd come up with their own key mappings and stuff for the joystick. But I mean, I could give me a second here. I'll scare the crap out of you now. Probably. Like, all of these are the controls, but all of these have their own little sub-menus and so on. And you basically have to there's the default settings, I think, but if you really want to customize things, you're gonna have to set a whole bunch of keys, and there's a whole ton of stuff down here. Like, there's so many things you can do in this game. It's ridiculous. Yeah. So it is a bit intimidating, but like I said, there's a lot of videos out there. There's a Discord, there's an Elite Explorers Discord, which I basically run, which is for the friendly people that can help out if you're into that side of the game. There's Reddit groups and forums and all that sort of stuff, so you're not alone in figuring it out. But yeah, let's see if we can park on the moon here. But I guess before we do that, let's see if we can probe it. You can see some of the varied and crazy landscapes that we have in the game. So let's get a bit closer. They've actually brought back color to the game as well. Like, there was a time where all the landable planets were basically beige and very boring, and now they've made them a little bit more exciting looking. This one's covered in canyons. It's an icy world. I'm trying to get a view where we can see the planet as well. I don't know if we can. I think that's it. There it is. It's not happy. You can do it. It's having trouble. It's now locked up, it seems. No. There we go. That again, you've just gone into that mode, which is not what we wanted to do. Yeah, it's being a bit weird. the update only happened like last week, so they probably still got a few bugs and glitches. Okay, let's zip past it a little bit here. Okay. So, how did I do this? It was that, right. So, now we're going to get into the probe shooting game. So, we want to basically find out what's on this planet. So, what we have to do is send out probes that will land on it and just map it. So, we've got an efficiency target on the right there that says 4 probes. And as far as I can see, this is the horizon. We're going to basically launch it, like you'll see in a minute. We'll launch this probe, off it goes, and it's going to head around the edge of the planet there, and it's going to map a bunch of it. I've just realised, kind of heading towards it a little bit. Let's get away a little bit further, otherwise we're going to end up crashing into the damn thing. I think I have to be in Super Cruise to do this, so alright, let's try now. Right, and then we had, so we mapped the back end of the planet there. If I just go here, it'll land up on the horizon where that dotted line is. You can see what it does. So it's making this circle of stuff here, and I can go here and here and here, and they'll all land and they'll map stuff. So all this stuff is mapped.
Surface scan complete.
And there we go. Notable signals, geological 46. Okay, now I've got to figure out what that means. So, get back into non-analysis view. Oh wow, look at this. There's a whole bunch of stuff. There's tons of things here. What is all this? So these are all places that have interesting things on them. That's rather fascinating, isn't it? Now before, these things existed.
Flight engaged.
Let's go for this one, which is on the other side. Hang on, let's go for that one. These things existed, but you had to basically go, and the only way you could find them was to fly low over the planet in real time and hope that you spotted something, which is not a very good way of finding these things. But now these scanners actually tell you where they are, so we're going to go visit one. And I have actually never seen one of these in the game, so this is going to be a first for me. So hopefully this is some kind of water geyser. Actually, I tell you what, I have seen one in the game, but that was at Europa in our own solar system, and it was like a known thing. But I've never discovered one before, so this is what we do when we land. So we're coming in kind of at an angle. And then we get to a point where it'll enter what's called glide mode, and that's coming up now. I can recognize it by the sound. Alright, glide engage. So this is the equivalent, like if this planet had an atmosphere, this would be like we've hit the atmosphere and we're going in, but it doesn't have an atmosphere. I think it's kind of my theory is it's a placeholder for when they eventually do let you do atmospheric landing, and then you can land on Earth-like worlds and so on. It's the same. It's basically a placeholder for that, but it basically gets you through that last sort of 50 kilometers or so, and you can see we're getting bigger. You can see there's no loading screen for this either, which is quite nice. Okay, and then we've ended up quite a ways away from this this thing. So we're going to boost. You can see us coming in. Zooming over the landscape. No, this is not working. Hello.
Landing gear deployed.
I don't know what this is doing now. Hang on. It's being weird. I don't know if it's my joystick's being crazy or something. The buttons seem to not be responding right now. Right, hang on. Exit camera suite, Joy 8 and Joy 1. Right. That's that and that. There we go. Yeah, it seemed to be getting confused, like, 'cause I was pressing the buttons and nothing was happening. Right. But yeah, this is a very good screenshot generator. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pictures from this game. They're not all online or anything, unfortunately, but a whole bunch of them are actually on my website. But yeah, there's lots of potential for pretty views. So I'm just going to do another boost. Get us closer. I'm quite excited to see what this is. So you can only land on planets if you have the Horizons DLC. And basically, if you get Elite Dangerous, don't even think about just getting the base game on its own. You really are getting half the game. I think Horizons includes all the planetary landings, all the alien stuff, etc. So it's definitely 100% worth getting. And then you can get access to this. And every ship can land. You're all capable of landing. And you can also kit yourself out with some rovers, SRVs, or it's Surface Reconnaissance Rover or vehicle or something, which is basically a little buggy that you can use to get around, and I'll show you that in a minute when we get out. But let's see what's going on here. Another thing this update has done, which I am absolutely adoring, because I've been screaming for this for years, is that they've finally made the dark side of the planets are dark now. It did have this problem before where the Milky Way and nebulas and all that stuff would light up the planets really disproportionately. It was really bad, and like, you know, in the old thing, you'd be flying over this and this would all be really brightly lit up, and they basically just screwed that up, and it was like that for a couple of years, and now it's fixed. So things are, you know, things that are in darkness are actually dark. Oh look, there's all puffs of steam. Look at this. A kilometre up, and there's definitely something volcanic down here. Look at that. Let's go and park here, I think. Right, this is definitely a field of stuff. I'm going to rotate around. So we're at the bottom of a canyon here. Oh, there's a very nice gas giant in the background there. I'm just rotating around. My turning rate is not fantastic, but Basically turning around because when my rover leaves the vehicle, leaves the ship, it's going to come out the back, so I might as well come out facing those things. Right, get the landing gear on. There we go. And you can see that. See, I've now got my feet down. And then just bring it down. You have to watch the gravity as well. Like, this world's a small one. You can see kind of in the blue text on the right of the screen in the middle. It says 0.08 g. That's the surface gravity. You have to watch out for that because some worlds are quite big and they have quite high gravity, and if you come in too fast, you will crash and you will explode. Which has happened. I think the highest gravity world around in here that has been discovered is about 9 Gs. And that is ridiculous. I mean, it would be impossible to drive on it. I have driven on a 3 gravity world or a 4 gravity world. And it's... I actually got stuck. There's a video of... One of my videos has, or one of my little clips has that, where I couldn't actually, I parked the ship on top of a hill, and I couldn't actually drive back up the hill to get to the ship. Fortunately, I'd parked on the rim of a crater. Here we go, landing, and there we go. Click down. So I parked on the rim of a crater, which meant I had to drive all the way down to the bottom of the crater and then tell my ship to launch by autopilot and then get it to land where I was, and then I could get on it. But, of course, going down a hill in 3 gravities is insane because, you know, you start going down and you get faster and faster and faster and faster, and ended up, I mean, my buggy was just rolling. It was just bouncing, flipping. It was very tense. I thought I'd end up getting destroyed, but I managed to survive it. But it was pretty interesting experience. So I will show you the vehicle mode here. Clunk. So here I am, and off I go. There's also one of the other new things in this game, in this update, is a night vision mode. So that's night vision. I don't really need it in this mode, but if you land on a dark side, then you'll definitely need that. Also, they seem to have got rid of all the surface rocks, which is amazing because they just did nothing but cause you to crash. So I'm loving that. So yeah, here we are. We're in a field of things. Fumaroles, volcanic vents. This one's active. Let's go have a look. Right, now we can do my little external mode. So this is what the rover looks like. If I can get the hang of the controls with this. Oh yeah, look at that. Got the planet in the background. Yeah, we can zoom out a bit more. Up a bit. There we go. There's my little vent. So yeah, you can do little screenshots with this. If you have a look, you can see me in there. Actually, let's turn off the lights if I remember how to do that. That is turn off the lights there. And then you can see me a bit better, I think. At least without the glare of the lights in the way. But anyway, yeah, you can see me in there. Hands moving, looking up around and stuff. Again, look, you know, check out the detail on this thing. You know, you've got a little like chassis cargo unit, impact resistant shell written on the side there. The wheels have lights built into them. Keep clear warnings. You've got your thrusters on the side. It's very neat. And yeah, don't know actually what I can do with this. Let's see if I can remember the button for this. There we go. So you've got a little turret on the top, which is nice. There's my ship over there. Zap some of these things. Apparently it has no effect. Makes it smoke a bit more. Oh, this one's calmed down, huh? That's interesting. It stopped erupting. So if I do that again, so yeah, this one's stopped. Is there another one? There must be another one. Oh, hang on, is that a thing? Pikeous cobble. But that's a thing, I think. I think I can blow this thing up. No? Not a meteorite? Not a meteorite, apparently. Okay. There was a Pikeous cobble. So this is a meteorite. Well, they call them meteorites. They're actually just boulders. But they have minerals in them, and you can blow them up. And then extract them. Which I will do. Steering is a little bit of a pain. Okay. So if I do that. Oh, there we go. And you can see it float to the ground. And that is sulfur. So that is a material I can pick up. Open up the cargo scoop. And then I can roll over it basically. And then I can pick it up. And now I have some sulfur. And there's another thing over here. Crystalline fragments. So yeah, this is basically what these are used for. They're used to get resources, and they also look pretty. There we go. And yeah, like it's realistic gravity, so that's why it's taking so long to land. And that is tin. Drive over that. Turn round. Get that one. That's behind it though. Maybe one of these will start erupting again and get a screenshot. that is... Bonk, it's bounced off me. It's selenium. Also a real element. And you can basically use these, you can use these to do things like synthesis, which lets you build fuel, you know, repair your hull, make ammunitions, etc., and so on. But you know, like this needs sulfur and phosphorus that will recharge your SRV's weapon system. I don't know if that actually runs out now. I don't think it ever ran out before. But yeah. Let's go over here and see what this one is. There's more stuff here. Boom. Whee! Coming my way. Still coming my way. More selenium. There we go. Okay. So yeah, we can just sort of drive around and pick stuff up. See if there's an active one. Oh, it's so much better driving now. Just without those bloody rocks in the way. That's just a steaming one. Driving as well. Driving on a low gravity world takes a bit of getting used to. Oh, there's one. Because you get no traction, obviously. Okay, let's see if we can get a screenshot here. So let's do that. Tell you what though, I will put some lights on it, and then we'll do that again. There we go, and then do that. And then that's basically decent. There we go. One screenshot taken. And that's pretty much it for that one. So yeah, there's also apparently there's also some weird phenomena up in space as well that we can go and have a look at. Needle crystals. Oh, that was interesting. There we go. What are you? Antimony. Oh, that's quite nice. So yeah, there we go. That was pretty cool. Like that. That's niobium. And yeah, you just drive over them basically. Oops. Smack into one. And I go follow my little green square over there. Back to my ship. And yeah, apparently there's whatever 40 or so of these things. Whoops. Steering. Oh, the red dust getting kicked up. But yeah, this is such a much better experience now. Like I said, there used to be, like, I mean, yeah, obviously there's some little rocks and things sticking up here because this is the geyser area. But there used to be like pebbles and rocks all over the place, and every time you well, not every time, but half the time you'd hit them, it'd be like they're attached to the bedrock, and your SRV just goes flying. But this is just much nicer. It's much better. Okay, so I'll go here and board the ship. And back we go. Okay, well, I could stay here forever and explore all the other places, but we have a Coalsack Nebula to go to, and at the moment we are let's get away from here and then I'll have a look. We are reasonably close to it, I think. We've got to escape from the planet.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
Away we go. And we can see us leaving the world behind. There's our ship. Upside down. There we go. And again, it's not working. Hello? Hello? Buttons. So, you can see me there. That's the internal camera view while we're doing this. And you can actually design your appearance as well. So this is all deliberate. He doesn't really look like me. You also can have crewmates as well. That's one way you can do multiplayer. I've never tried that, but there we go. But that's a way you can do it, and I guess it's like one person could be the guns and one person could do the navigating and so on. But I've never done that. Right. So yeah, it seems the buttons are still a bit funky. That's the lights. Why doesn't this work? Next system. That's the one I wanted. So there you go. You've seen a planet and a moon, and we've done the actual probing as well, which is one of the reasons I wanted to do the stream. So how far away are we? Oh, we're very nearly there. A couple of jumps away, and then we're going to be in the Coalsack region. So once we get there, we're going to have a look around and we'll see what we can see. See if we can find anything interesting, like a black hole or a neutron star or a white dwarf, because if you haven't seen them before, they're pretty awesome. That's pretty cool. First time we've seen one of those lava ones. Oh, my habit of trying to get the discovery scanner going already, and can't do that anymore. That's not how it works anymore.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Let's keep on. And then we'll see where we're at.
3, 2.
Excuse me. Okay. Is that the last jump? Basically. So, here we go. Right, got some stars. What we got here? Hip is a white yellow star. See if we can see anything interesting here. If you have a trained eye, you can make out giant stars here. They look more blobby, but because we're sort of near the bubble and still in the galactic plane, it's unlikely that there are going to be many of those around. I really would like to see a white dwarf or something. Let's see if we can find something interesting. This is unlikely. I don't know what's going on here, but it seems to be a definite lack of the more interesting star types. What's this one? That is a B star, so they're bright blue ones. This, unfortunately, the galaxy map is really basic. Like, there's, you know, there's no way to just go, just show me where the nearest neutron star is. You have to basically trawl through it by hand and hope that you spot it amongst all the whatever dust on your screen or whatever. It looks like there's nothing particularly interesting in terms of stars, at least around here. There's no like white dwarfs or neutron stars, which is a little unfortunate. But there are other stars available. So where are we? We're over here. Let's go up to, that's HIP 62154, like, it's an A star. Let's head over there.
Fuel scooping.
And that's more where the Coalsack is.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
You can see all the reflection of the glass on the right there. All this sort of grubby looking grubby looking stuff on the window. Wasn't cleaned properly apparently. Map.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Attack of the monkeys. Okay.
Fuel scooping.
We've got a very close planet here.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
And we're here already pretty much. This is very close to the star. There we go. If I drop out, now I'm not moving, but the planet is. So I'm close enough to the. I'm close enough to the star. Well, we're close enough to the planet, I mean. And the planet is close enough to the star. It's only 8 light seconds away, so that's 2.4 million kilometers, because 1 light second is 300,000 kilometers. It's like distance that light travels in a second. So it's about 8 light seconds away from the star. 2.5 million kilometers almost. By comparison, Mercury is about 40 million kilometers, I think, from the sun. So this thing is way closer. I mean, it is probably a raging inferno. Let's see if we can just get a snap of that. This might be a good one to scan. If we can. Unless we already know about it here. There's a metal-rich body that has a metallic vapor atmosphere. I have to enter supercruise, okay.
Frameshift drive charging.
So we've got the honk there. So here's our planet, which we know exists. And now we can probe it. So it's already been mapped by somebody. That Omayuamo Shindiru has already mapped it. We're sending our probes out. Basically just map the dark side. I don't really care about the efficiency bonus, I just want to see what it tells me. So if you get 80, I think over 90% of the planet mapped, the other 10% gets filled in kind of automatically. So this should do it. If you look at the back side of the planet here. There we go.
Surface scan complete.
There we go. And then I think if I go over to my thing now, it will tell me that the planet's been mapped. Right, so this is where it gets a bit probably not realistic. So this is a 1.5 Earth mass planet. It is slightly smaller than the Earth, 5,462 kilometers. Surface gravity 2 gravities. Surface temperature 5,963 Kelvin. That's hotter than basically everything can withstand. I don't know. Tungsten might be able to survive in solid form at that temperature, but everything else is just vapor. So the surface pressure is 4,535,881 atmospheres, which is completely bonkers. Obviously atmosphere type metallic vapor. Atmosphere is basically iron and rock, and it's completely made of metal. I mean, it's basically a cannonball in space with vaporized metal as an atmosphere. Now that's not impossible. We know of real planets that have temperatures of over 1,000 degrees, the hot Jupiters and so on. But for a terrestrial planet to be able to hold onto an atmosphere that's at that temperature, and also to have it that high pressure, is really dubious, I think. It's a bit of a crazy extreme that Elite Dangerous likes to make. So that's what I meant by, like, some of the worlds here are just not that realistic. Also, if it's 5,000 degrees, it should be glowing. Like, pretty sure that's somewhere that's beyond red hot. I mean, that's going to be, it's almost as hot as the sun, honestly. So it should be glowing like the sun, and it doesn't. So they've not rendered that as realistically as it should be, and they've not made it as realistic as it should be. But that's most of the rest of the stuff is reasonable, at least. So what's the next system? So this slightly darker region ahead of us here is the Coalsack Nebula. And I wonder actually if I just head out and get away from the star, what happens now? Because in the old pre-patch edition, when we had the lighting compensation happening, the closer you got to a star, whether you were actually looking at it or not, which was weird, the less stuff you could see, because I guess the idea was that the glare was drowning everything out. But it was dumb, because you could be facing away from the star like this, and the glare would still be drowned out, and it's like, how? But now they've done something to fix the lighting, I don't know if that still happens. So let's get further away and see if things become more visible. Doesn't look like they are. I think by this stage it would have lit up. And we are quite far from the star. I don't know why it keeps saying that module cannot be used in this cockpit mode. I don't know what it thinks I've got tied to that control. But anyway, that is the Coalsack Nebula, that dark patch. And of course, you know, it's not very spectacular looking because it's just a big dark cloud. But I think if we go around the other side of it, we might be able to see some nebulosity. Oh, there we go. So this is a Type A star, is a white star. They tend to be brighter.
Fuel scooping.
They also tend to have interesting systems.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Okay. Do the honk. 13 bodies. A planet. And get it lined up. Oh, what are you? That's a non-landable world. It's high metallic content world. Yep. Gas giant of some kind. I think. Oh, it's a water world. Oh, interesting. Now, water worlds are nice. Oh, it's terraformable one. That's even better. They're good because they're worth a lot of money. There's something else here as well. What are you? You a rocky ice world? No. You're a high metal content world. There we go. So there's a double planet there. Oh, it's a rocky body. Oh, it's got biological stuff. We should go have a look at that. That's 6A. Come here. It's a high metal content world. Wait till that locks in. So it's one of these things, which is a icy body. Oh, look at that! Nice ring system. Oh, I can show you. I'll show you a ring system. Like those are cool. Yeah, we'll have a look at that. See what we can find here. Another water world. Another water world. Awesome. There we go. It's a pretty bland looking one, but that's a water world. What have we got over here? Have a high metal content world. Nothing interesting on it. No, unfortunately, anything with an atmosphere you can't land on at this point. They have promised atmospheric landings for quite a long time. But no, you can only land on rocky or icy bodies or rocky ice bodies with no atmospheres. So you can't land on metal worlds, you can't land on high metal content worlds, you can't land on Earth-like planets or on water worlds, unfortunately. But you can get close to them. You can like fly above them. But unfortunately, no landings. So like this, you can't land on. If you've got clouds, you can't land on it, basically. What's that? It's a double planet. So that you can land on, I think. It's a rocky body. And this you can't land on. But it's a high metal content world. If I remember that rightly. So we found almost everything. Got 92% of the bodies mapped. So what have I missed? Is there another thing here? No. There's something along this orbit line. That's 10. I think there's anything else. Here we go, so that's the system map. Looks like I've got everything. How would I know if I'm missing anything? One thing we want to look for as well is if a moon has a short orbital period, because that means it's really close to its main planet. And then therefore that is a lot of good views. So that is a planet, that one, we haven't seen this. That looks waterworldy as well. Where is 8 then? Yeah, now hang on, how do we... That's interesting. Because the... on this side there used to be things that would let you turn on your orbit views and all this sort of stuff, and now they're not there. Where the heck are they? On that side, they're not down here. Not up there. Huh. Wonder if you can do that still. One second. I'm just gonna ask on the Discord here. Possibly in the codex, but alright, let's now we've moved on a little bit here, let's see if we can find this other planet. So it's going to be along here somewhere, because it's between 8 and 9. And it's going to be a water world. So it's going to be a water world, I think. There it is. There it is. Got it.
System scan complete.
There we go. We have now tracked it down to 2 water worlds. So that is a very lucrative system. And that was interesting as well because I could actually deduce where it was. Yeah, I think it's all in my codex, all that other stuff. Let's see if we can find that. Hang on, we'll go exploring here in a minute. Hang on. That's a water world. That's a water world. We got 2 water worlds. That's pretty awesome. That isn't, but that's the one we're heading for. And this is the one that looks more interesting too. Yeah, it's a shame I can't find any neutron stars or things like that. Usually they were within my hair because I overshot. Usually they're 1,000 light years above and below the galactic plane. There's a big clump of them, but I looked around here at those levels and couldn't seem to find any, which was very odd. Right, here we go. Let's go approach this. Now I don't actually know if it's worth probing these worlds since you can't land on them, but perhaps it might be. It's also, they're very pretty. Some of these water worlds look really bland, they're just like blue balls with no clouds, but these ones, the ones that do have clouds, look very nice. So here we go. Right, if I do that, then we can see what we've got going on here. I think I just went to the miss area there, but let's just go straight past. You can see the area that it's mapped. So we really got half the planet. Less efficient. Need that area. So need the back side of the planet around here. Okay. Maybe I just need like that. I'll get just around the limb. Alright, thanks for coming along, lags. I don't know if you're around on my normal stream times,
Complete.
but if you are, do pop in. They're usually on at 8 PM Pacific time, so a bit later on. So if you're in Europe, that's probably not very good. But yeah, thanks for coming along. Do appreciate it. Hopefully I've interested you in the game. So there we go. That's all mapped. And I don't know what that really got us. More money, I suppose. What we got? Any more information? Not really. Alright. Well, I'm actually getting a bit knackered. I think I'm going to head off to this ring system. And then we will, we might leave it there. So that was over here. Of course you're 5,600 light seconds away, why wouldn't you be? Oh, it's Central Time. Oh, good. Okay, cool. Excellent. Alright, well yeah, thanks for joining me. Much appreciated. You can always see the end of the stream on the VODs as well that I put up on my channel. So if you want to see the ring system, then you can look at it then. But now it's the long haul of just waiting to travel 5,500 light seconds, which is by no means the record. There are systems like, you know, companion stars and stuff that are hundreds of thousands of light seconds away in some systems. Proxima Centauri is about 4 million light seconds away from the Alpha Centauri system, and that literally takes an hour to get to. So that's a bit of a rite of passage, really. Ooh. But fortunately this only takes a minute or two. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo. Alright, need to slow down. We can't land on this, but we can go in the rings, and they are pretty cool. They've got beefed up. You can also do mining in the game, and that's got a significant improvement in this update. This actually isn't kitted out for mining, so I can't show you it. But I may do another stream maybe next weekend or something. Because I do have a mining ship. I think I've got it here. It's a Python, not a crate. But we can maybe see if we can figure that out. Here's your rings. But you can go mining in rings. I think it's usually better to go mining in rings unless they've changed it. But let's go have a look. This is quite the ring system. Normally people don't come out this far out into the edge of the system. Okay, there we are, flying over very widely banded rings. Some pretty big gaps in there. Okay, let's duck down in here. Hard to get an idea of the scale here, isn't it? Okay. So now we are coming into the ring system. And these are not. They're not very unrealistic. I don't know how entirely realistic they are, but they're basically boulders and things and dust, and they're only a few hundred meters thick, which that part is realistic. But here we go. Now we are among the rings. Great big boulders of ice tumbling around. And yeah, you could go mine these and extract useful things from them and then go and sell them. It's quite neat. I do believe I do actually have a mining laser. See how this works. If this works. Doesn't seem to want to let me fire. Which is weird. Module cannot be used in this cockpit mode. I'm in combat mode. Huh. Well, apparently let's edge closer here. Not that close. Mining laser deactivated. Mining laser switch mode. So what mode am I supposed to use? I don't think there is another mode, is there? Let's have a looky. Mode switches. Switch HUD mode. Weird. Oh well, I'll have to figure that out next time then. They've obviously changed a few things. I mean, unless we've got to get even closer, but I'm getting a bit too close. You can see it all glistening as well, which is pretty cool. But yeah. Anyway, that is you can see all the dust up there as well, the back scattering. That is the ring system here. So is there any way we can land? go over here. We can land on the moon. And
Frame shift drive charging. 4,
and call it there.
2, 1. Engage.
Zoom away from the rings. There we go. Yeah, I'll have to figure out what's going on with that. But yeah, I'll land on this moon and then I'll call it quits for the stream. I just really wanted to give it a go, show off the features, the new features, and I think we've done that largely. So yeah, hopefully it's been fun. As you can see, it's a pretty slow burn game, like you know, and it helps if you have a goal, like especially for streaming and stuff, like, you know, just aimlessly exploring is a bit less interesting than having a specific target, like, you know, we want to head out to the Coalsack Nebula, and we are there basically. But yeah, maybe, like I said, if I can figure out the mining, maybe I can do that next week. But in the meantime, my regular streams are on Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 8 o'clock Pacific PM, and they are currently God of War, so rather different to this. Overshoot again. I always do that. But I was checking something on the other screen there as well, so that's my excuse. Okay. So there's our water world, which I suppose we can go probe for what it's worth. Yeah, actually that's pretty neat. So, sorry, I wanted the other one. It's confusing. Can I do that? No, I just disabled all that, didn't I? Okay, there we go. Am I too far away? Yeah, too far away. Fair enough. I wonder how close I have to be. I mean, I don't really think I get anything more for mapping water worlds, but we'll see. Yeah, I think I got the hang of this. So this is a horizon line. So if you aim it at that dotted line, I think it'll actually land on
Surface scan complete.
the probe will land right on the edge here of the planet, and then it'll do a circle around where it lands. If you land within this line, it'll land on this hemisphere, and if you land beyond it, up to the point where it says miss, it'll land further and further around the back of the planet, so it's kind of arcing around. So if you do it all the way out here, it'll land like on the other side, directly opposite you. But this one's been mapped already. So yeah, I don't know what else this really gives you in this case, because it's not going to tell you where there's anything interesting, because you can't land on these worlds. But if I go to the moon, which is over here, then we should see something interesting. So I'm actually going to deliberately go past it. I want to see if I can get a decent view of the planet as well. It should be around here somewhere. Oh, there it is. It's over there. So it is but a crescent, but that's okay. Oh, but look at that though. It's just dark, pitch black night side. It's glorious. This may seem a little thing, but to me it was really ruining the immersion of the game. But now to have it like this is pretty sweet. So let's get you done. Just lob probes down all over the shop. Ah, of course you don't do that. Let's get you about there. I thought we should hit the efficiency target. That should do it. There we go.
Surface scan complete.
There we go. Oh, we got biological signals on here. Interesting. Right. This will be cool then. Not that button. No, not that button. Go away. That button. Right. So yeah, where are these things? So mostly they're in darkness. In fact, they're all in darkness, which is a little unfortunate because I wanted to be able to land on the day side and see them. Well, let's see if we can actually see them. Hang on, you're over there. You're there. Are you on the other side? You're on the other side. Okay, you're on the day side, so let's scooch over that way. And and then we'll be able to see get into orbit. So what could this be? Because yeah, there are whatever they are, you know, locations on planets that have life on them. Even though there's no atmosphere, there is
Flight engaged.
in Elite Dangerous universe there is stuff that can still grow. Brain trees and barnacles and all sorts of other weird stuff. So this will be interesting because I've never seen these before at all. Come in, and that'll be a nice place to end it. This is a slightly higher gravity world, 0.32 Gs, which is not dangerous. But you know, you've got to be aware. Alright, so let's see how close we can get to this site. Quite intrigued to see what we're going to find. But yeah, I think overall I'm kind of liking this new system. It's not bad. Definitely like this thing where you can just see all the interesting features on the planet straight away and not have to go hunting for them. But I think it's quite good. It's a bit, it is more involved than just the old, you know, enter a system, honk, and then move on and you've explored it. But that's good because I always was a bit suspicious of like how you could arrive basically right next to the star, press a button, honk, and then you basically know everything there is about the system ever. Whereas now you now you have to make a little bit more effort there, which makes it a little bit more realistic. So again, I've ended up coming out of glide a little bit too far off. Ugh. So I just scooch along there. Just posting something on Discord here. Scooching along. bit faster. The peril of doing this is that you can sometimes come out of glide a little far away. And if you're a little bit out of practice with it like I am, then that kind of happens. But with practice you can come out pretty close. You come out like 7 or 8 kilometers away, especially if you come up like from above. You can just sort of dive straight down almost. Cool. Right, almost there. Flying over a planet. The planet is up, the water world is up, which is nice. Right, nearly there. You can see what all the fuss is about down there. Getting low, 1.3 kilometers. Probably pull up. There we go. Cruise along. See what we can see. It's a bit low. Come up a bit. There we go. What are we looking at then? Yeah, there's little things there. What's that? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fly over them and then land about here.
Landing gear deployed.
Back, I say. Back. That'll do. Okay. Bring it down. Quite bumpy terrain. Find a flat spot. There is one. One of these bits must be nice. Seriously? There's no good landing spot here. There we go. something. It goes yellow basically is good to land. But it seems a little unsuitable. Somewhere over here. Don't want to go too far away. Oh, screech. There's something going to let me down. So, look, we got rocks here. Put my other scarab down. So I've forgotten what colour that is. I think it's green. Okay, and there we go. And it's green. Green buggy. Alright. I believe it was over here. Well, this is what happens when you just bump around. Clang. There we go. Yeah, this is rocky, which is interesting because we didn't see that before. So yeah, these are the biological things. These orange cones. Not sure what they are. Attack it? It's like a plant of some kind, but neat. Doesn't do anything. So apparently not. But let's wander around and see what we can see. Whole field of them over there. Maybe there's some mineral we can mine off it or something. Oh, we can get some air time. That's back. Ran over one. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Get into the main field of them. Here we are. There is something over there. Flowing excretion. Oh, that sounds fun. So again, they're basically resource sites. What do you look like? Yeah. Goopy, apparently. You cordyceps growth. Oh, but that's ruthenium. That's actually a rare element. It's interesting. A Muscidean seed pod up there. Of course, cordyceps growth is something that fills me with fear. That's tungsten. Nice. It's like a little bit of coral. But yeah, cordyceps are, of course, if you are familiar with The Last of Us, should be familiar. The fungus. Can't blow it off apparently. Let's try and target it a bit better. There we go. Well, that is sulfur. So yeah, they're just basically another extraction site, basically. Let's see if I can get a nice picture. What I could do is do a panoramic shot. So what I would basically do is take a picture of this and then move the camera up a bit and take a picture, and then I can combine that together. Yeah, let's see if I can do that. And then do that. I don't understand why it rotates, but you know, I guess that's fine. Okay. So I will basically leave it at that. Wonder if I can. So have a look over here. You can see my ship taking off. Off it goes, and it will disappear. And now if I call it back, which I should be able to do, recall ship, it might be able to land nearer. We can see it coming into land. So where are we? It's coming in here. Here it comes. Down. Usually the landing is pretty spot on. There's a landing legs coming down. Even in high gravity worlds it can manage it. Has a bit of trouble taking off apparently, but there we go. And that means I don't have to drive all that way back to there. So yeah, I can be in the polyporous growth. There it goes. But yeah, I can be in the right right area here. Hang on. What I was trying to say there. Where is it? It's over here. Chromium. So yeah, it's a bit. I suppose it's a little bit weird that all they do is just drop metals and not, you know, not interesting biological samples or something like that. But that's cool. They look interesting. I'm gonna get back on my ship, and then I can leave it at that. Right. Well, there we go. That is a preview of the new update Beyond 3.3. So that's the exploration stuff. Yeah, maybe, you know, I'll think about doing a mining stream next weekend, just as another one-off thing. We can see how that works, because that looks pretty cool. You can like blow apart asteroids and stuff. But I'll have to see if I can figure that out on Tuesday maybe. But in the meantime, I've got my regular streams Monday, Wednesday and Friday, 8 PM Pacific. Currently playing through God of War, and it's brilliant. So do join me for that. But that's been Elite Dangerous here. And all that's left is to say thank you for watching and thank you for joining me. Hope that's been interesting, and I will see you next time. Ta-ta.